Hey there, hey friends. My name is Ken Johnson, also known as the Thrifty Apprentice, and it is my pleasure to try and spread the feelings of love and joy through art in any way that I can. So today, I want to take you along with me as I conduct another one of my artsy experiments. The other day, I was thinking about the wonderful world of water soluble products that are available to us. And without a doubt, watercolors are the cornerstone of that universe. And it's my belief that the idea of the palette itself is what make it, dare I say, difficult for a lot of artists to venture beyond paints. So today I'm going to challenge myself first and foremost, but the entire idea of just sticking to paints to create our palettes. So just the other day, over in Patreon, in the creation station, I did a professional watercolor palette tour. And as a part of that tour, I showed two different palettes, both my Daniel Smith and my Winsor & Newton professional palettes that are constructed a little bit differently than one may think. So here is the Daniel Smith palette. And as you can see, not is it only constructed from tube paints that have been dried down into the palette, it's also constructed from paint sticks. Now, paint sticks are pure pigment sticks or entire sticks of pigment or paint that you can use to draw, write, color, and then disperse with water, or you can cut them down and put them into your half pans to actually create half pan paint pans. Now, I've discovered that in the case of the paint sticks, a paint stick, if it's produced by the company, typically runs about the same amount of money as a tube of paint. And with the sticks, you're getting pure pigment. There's no tube, no cap, or anything like that. So in my head, it kind of equates to maybe I'm getting more, and you can cut that stick down several times to make several different half pans or full pans if that's what you choose to do. I'll show you another example. Here I have my Winsor & Newton professional paint set. Now this is actually constructed of Winsor & Newton professional paint sticks back during the time when Winsor & Newton actually produced their paint sticks. Now I have a set of 10 that I've cut down and turned into half pans, and then I've augmented the rest of the spaces and colors that I needed for this palette with Winsor & Newton cotton so that they be coming from the same company, right? So there are two different examples of where I've used things other than paint half pans or from a tube in order to create half pans of paint. And in this case, I used paint sticks. So I started to think to myself, that's actually a cool idea. How can I push that further? What else in the water soluble world could we possibly create palettes from? And then it hit me. I'm a lover of watercolor pencils. What if I could use watercolor pencils to create a pan up and then turn that pan into a group of pans or a palette of paints? So I set out on looking to kind of construct this idea and get it together. Now I've done something similar to this with watercolor crayons. With watercolor crayons, when you have to sharpen it, the shavings are actually pigment because it's a watercolor crayon. So you can save those shavings into a palette and then kind of paint from those shavings as if though they are pans of paint. And I thought to myself, well, let's see if we can pull that off with watercolor pencils. So I started pulling out my watercolor pencils to explore to see what I could come up with. Well, first, I had to decide between the pencils and what would be the best for this type of project. Well, of course, there's always the standard type of watercolor pencil. I just pulled a random set out of my stash so you guys will be able to see. So here we have a standard set of watercolor pencils. This is a student grade set. This is Brunzil, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is Brunzil. It was a pretty decent set of student grade watercolor pencils. It's part of the Rick Museum's collection, and they were pretty dispersible in water. But the thing is, if I wanted to create a palette from this, I would sort of run into the problem of the wood. When sharpening this type of pencil, to get the pigment part of it, I also have to accept the fact that I'm sharpening wood that would be also in my shavings. So I don't think I wanted to have to fight with trying to pick out wood or just separating the part of the lid that was pigment from the part of the wood. So this probably wouldn't be the best type of pencil to be a candidate for what I was trying to do. So then I started thinking a little bit further. Well, what else is there? And then it hit me. Well, just like watercolor crayons, watercolor pencils come woodless. And then I thought to myself, what set did I have? And I grabbed my Arteza woodless watercolor pencils. This is a 24 count of pure pigment sticks that is basically held together, excuse me, by the lacquer on the pencil. So I thought, okay, so when I sharpen this, just like with the watercolor crayon, I'm basically getting pure pigment, which would be the same idea behind a paint stick. So let's take this set with our experiment today and try to turn some of these 24 pencils into an actual mixing set. I think it'll be fun. So here I have a palette that I ordered off of Temu. You guys probably saw this in the Temu art haul. I originally ordered it to House Guashin, but I got several other. I have two more of these here, and I've ordered more to come in simply because I just love this whole design. But this little palette has 6 individual full pans, and the full pans have lids on them. And I thought this would be ideal to house what we're trying to do today, to create a mixing set of pan paints out of watercolor pencils. I think this is going to be fun. So what I'm going to do, and you can find whatever, is you don't have to have anything. If you decide to give this a try, you do not need to have anything with lids on it. This is just something I have to play with because I have it here. Now that I've decided on what I'm going to put it in or create the palette out of, I need to, on what I'm going to use as the medium, I need to decide on what colors because we have to limit it to 6. Now here I have the swatch sheet for the pencils. And as you can see, they're all very bright and beautiful. And this swatch sheet was done, I want to say, a year and a half to 2 years ago, somewhere in that time frame. So really great pencils. They are on my recommendation list if I'm not mistaken. If not, I definitely need to add them. I was really excited and thrilled about the quality of these pencils. Now, I will state that don't run out and buy these pencils based on what I'm saying right now in order to do this experiment. Kind of shop around, look at some reviews. The thing about it, Arteza is a budget company, so they may be prone to changing the factory they use to manufacture their products. I cannot guarantee you that if you ordered their woodless watercolor pencils in 2024, it would still be the same quality as the pencils I ordered anywhere from 2 to 2.5 years ago. So I did want to throw that out there. However, there is a great chance they are still using the same factory and the pencils are still the same great, wonderful quality that I remember them being and that I love to use. So I have no qualms with using this set to create my palette. Now we need to find some beautiful colors to use. Now I'm just going to jump right out the gate with my red simply because I definitely want to include a alizarin crimson. That would be my magenta leaning red. I'm going to grab that out of the set, and in the set it's called a alizarin red. All right. And then we need another red, and I'm just going to go for, should I go for the pink or should I go for, I guess that's more of the true red, chili red. It looks more like a scarlet tone. Um, hmm. I think I'm going to go for the chili red. And if need be, I can mix a little white gouache into that color, possibly to get the rosy tone. So let's go with the chili red. So those will be the 2 reds. Oh, do I want to do 2 reds, 2 yellows, 2 blues? No, I want to do one red, one yellow, one blue. So we are going to do alizarin. We'll do lemon yellow, simply because I feel like it's going to be a better mixing yellow if we need it. And I feel like this is going to be a great idea for a little on-to-go travel set. Um, that'll dry up really quickly, I feel like, because of the medium it's made out of. And for the blue, I guess we're going to go with the ultramarine. I mean, it would be the most versatile mixing blue. Now, these pencils do not have any pigment information, so I don't know if it's, if, what pigments are truly being used to make it. I'm just gonna go with colors, and I feel like lemon yellow, alizarin, and ultramarine is a great primary trio. Now, to that, let's augment it with a convenience green. So, should we go with emerald green, aquamarine, or grass green? I think I'm gonna shoot. Ooh, the emerald is a more earthy, natural, and the grass is a little bit more in tune with the yellow green, sap green family. So let's go with the grass green. All right, and we need two more here. I definitely want a brown. Um, more of a now this tawny is more of a, is that supposed to be like the yellow ochre? We're definitely gonna go with, oh my goodness, I have to be so careful. I only get two more. I don't guess I want black. Okay, I'll go with the walnut brown, which is like a burnt sienna, because I want a brown. And I think I want to go with a yellow ochre color, or more of a raw sienna color, and do the tawny. And that'll be my 6 color mixing set, because I can always mix my grays from what I have. And I can mix any of the other colors in between, hopefully, from what I've picked. So now, how do we do this? We're going to grab one of the pans. And then for this, I've settled on the style of pencil sharpener that will encase the shavings so we won't lose anything. And I'll start with the red. I'm going to put it in rainbow order. So I'll start with the red. And I'm just going to sharpen the pencil. And here's the thing. I think I'm going to stick the actual pencil set in the to-go bag with the palette I'm about to make, because I feel like it'll be really cool. Okay. Now I'm going to take those shavings and I'm going to pour those shavings into, okay, I want to get them all out. But there's the concept. So the concept is to encase the shavings so you don't lose any, and then pour them into the half pan. And then once we get all of the half pans filled, we're going to spritz everything with just a little water to make it settle down, hopefully. So we'll start with the red, and then I'll do yellow and blue and green. But the thing is, if you use this type of encasing, you are going to have to clean it each time you finish with a pencil. But I am going to be housing the pencils in the to-go set as well, so we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and grab something to clean this, and you see what we're doing as far as shaving. I'm going to shave all the rest of these down, and then we'll meet up after that. Okay, friends, I did want to come back and share shaving down the last pencil with you, because I did kind of switch up what I was doing. I took off the storage cap that was keeping the shavings, because I was tired of cleaning it every single time I got done with a pencil. And instead, I just take the sharpener, since it's on this cap, and turned it upside down in the pan, and then I sharpened the pencil in that way. And basically the way I'm gauging how much to put in each one is by comparing it to the other pencils and seeing if it's at the same level. And then just adding more as I need to from there. I really should have put a little bit more of the tawny, Tawny, in there, the one that's more like the raw sienna color, but I didn't, and that's okay. I could always add more later if I need to. And see, if you do it this way, the shavings are already directly in the pan or the half pan if that's what you're using, with not much cleanup at all to have to do. So there, I have all of those. Now at some point I'm going to seek out a little travel bag to put the pencils along with the palette in, and there I will have a palette to match the pencils, hopefully. So now what I want to do is grab some water, and I'm gonna kind of spray those down, hopefully, without anything coming out. Maybe I should spray them down separately. This way I can clean up the pan as I go. So yeah, I had no idea it would be this messy when I set out to do it. But I think it's going to be so fun once it's done. And I just kind of want to spray it down enough so that none of the pieces fly all over the place. And I really love these little palettes because you could use that for a well itself without even putting the clothes and pans inside. And I'm just spraying these down one more good time on the side. It is off camera. Just want you guys to know what I'm doing. Just adding water to each one of them just to get the flakes to settle. And then I think we need to see, what becomes of this experiment, and see if we can do a painting from them. I think that would be idea. So I'm gonna get these sprayed, make sure none of the flakes are jumping up at us as we work. And then I am going to try to do a painting from these and then use the watercolor pencils to augment everything. So that'll give you guys time to finish up your palettes if you are creating along with me on this little experiment. I'm gonna pop those back in, and I'm really excited about this. I'm gonna get the pencils ready, grab some watercolor paper, give you guys time to get ready, get the idea of what I'm going to illustrate together, and then we will be ready to rock.